What if I told you that reality isn't something you experience, but something you broadcast? And what if you've spent your entire life tuned to the wrong frequency, creating a world from static when you were designed for a symphony? There is a place, a higher dimension of reality, where all your possible futures, the triumphant, the tragic, the mundane, already exist. Not as ideas, but as fully formed worlds. We live in a cross-section of that reality, a single frame, in an infinite film. We've been taught to stare at the frame, believing it's the entire story. What we are about to explore isn't just a forgotten philosophy or a mystical secret. It's the operating manual for consciousness itself, a key to stop reacting to the film and start selecting the scene. The greatest prison ever built isn't made of stone, it's made of time. We experience life in an eternal now, a single, seamless moment. Yet our minds are conditioned to live in the debt of the past or the anxiety of the future. This is the first layer of the illusion. It's because we fundamentally misunderstand our role in the cosmos. We've been taught to believe we are the screen on which the movie of life is projected. We are not. We are the projector. The film running through that projector is your own consciousness, your deepest assumptions about yourself and the world. The universe, in turn, isn't a cold, indifferent void. Think of it as a vast cosmic mirror. It has no will of its own, no agenda, no favorites. Its only function is to perfectly and ruthlessly reflect back to you the face you show it. If you scowl, it scowls. If you smile, it smiles. For most of our lives, that projector has been running on autopilot, playing old, scratched films of fear, doubt, and limitation. The result is a chaotic reflection, a life that feels like it's happening to us instead of from us. But what if there was a way to consciously choose the film? What if the instructions for doing so have been hidden in plain sight for millennia, mistaken for myth and metaphor? So, who or what is running this projector on autopilot? For most of us, it is a ghost, a phantom operator built from inherited beliefs, forgotten traumas, and the cultural spells whispered so often we mistake them for our own voice. This ghost operator has one masterful trick. It convinces us that time is a relentless, one-way river, carrying us from a fixed past to an unknown future. This is the master deception. Imagine, for a moment, that time is not a river at all. Imagine it is a vast frozen lake. Every possible moment, your birth, this second, your final breath, and every choice in between, exists right now, as a location on the ice. We have simply been trained to walk a single, straight line, believing it's the only path forward. We never look to the left or right to see that every other destination is just as real, just as accessible. And the cosmic mirror? It doesn't judge. It doesn't distinguish between a conscious step you take and an unconscious one driven by the ghost. It simply reflects the path you are on, not the infinite landscape you are ignoring. It faithfully builds a solid three-dimensional world around your current trajectory, making the illusion feel permanent. This is why life can feel like a repeating pattern, a story written by someone else that we are forced to act out. We are living a script we never consciously approved. The fundamental question, the one that ancient masters dedicated their lives to, isn't just how do you change the film. It's how do you step into the projection booth, dismiss the ghost, and take the controls yourself. This understanding, that consciousness is the ultimate reality, is not a modern invention. It is a piece of archaic technology, a forgotten science of the soul, whispered in the hidden corners of history. An ancient Hermetic text, the Kybalion, lays down the first principle with chilling clarity. The all is mind, the universe is mental. We've been taught to interpret this as a lovely metaphor. What if it's the literal instruction manual? What if it means that the cosmos itself is a vast thinking substance, and our individual minds are simply focal points within it? The Greek philosophers echoed this mystery. Imagine Plato's cave, not as a place of stone, but as the inside of your own skull. The shadows dancing on the wall are the events of your life, the reality fed to you by your five senses. But the fire casting those shadows, the real forms moving behind you, exist in a higher, more real dimension of your own consciousness. The Neoplatonists called this the realm of the archetypes. For centuries, this remained a profound but seemingly inaccessible philosophy. Then, in the 20th century, a mystic named Neville Goddard emerged. He wasn't just a philosopher, he was a spiritual engineer. He took this ancient blueprint and reverse-engineered the mechanism. He demonstrated that the connection between the shadow world of our senses And the real world of our imagination wasn't just a theory, it was a bridge that could be consciously and deliberately crossed. They left us more than a philosophy, they left us a set of instructions. The question is, are we brave enough to follow them? These ancient cultures weren't operating from a primitive, unscientific worldview. They were operating from a different kind of science, a science of symbols, of consciousness. For them, the inner and outer worlds weren't separate domains, they were two ends of a divine feedback loop. This is the meaning behind another great Hermetic axiom. As above, so below. As within, so without. It's not a poetic wish. It is a statement of cosmic mechanics. It declares that the structure of your inner world, your beliefs, your feelings, your dominant assumptions, is the blueprint that the universe has no choice but to build in the stone and steel of your physical reality. The Vedic traditions of the East spoke of this same principle through the concept of Maya. They taught that the physical world is an illusion, not because it isn't real, but because we mistake the effect for the cause. We see the puppet, but we don't see the strings being pulled by our own consciousness. So when Neville Goddard arrived in the modern era, he wasn't inventing a new system. He was acting as a master decoder. He saw that all these ancient roadmaps were pointing to the same destination. They explained the why with breathtaking philosophical beauty, but they often veiled the how in layers of allegory and ritual. Goddard's genius was to strip away the ceremony and isolate the engine of creation itself. He presented a technology that was terrifying in its simplicity, a power that depended not on a guru or a god, but solely on the disciplined use of one's own imagination. He handed humanity a loaded weapon and simply asked, "What world do you intend to create?" So how do we move from this mind-bending philosophy to a concrete, repeatable practice? This is where the ancient wisdom becomes a functional technology. This is the manual. It consists of 4 precise, non-negotiable steps. The first step is the blueprint of clarity. The cosmic mirror does not respond to blurry sketches. It demands a finished blueprint. Vague desires for happiness or success are like shouting into the void. They have no form to be reflected. The practical application here is radical honesty. What do you really want? You must define the end state with the precision of an architect. Don't just think it, write it down. Describe the person you would be, the things you would see, the feelings you would feel, as if you were scripting a scene in the final act of your life's movie. The second step is what we'll call the echo of fulfillment. This is a subtle but critical distinction. You do not imagine the moment you achieve your goal. That is a moment of seeking. Instead, you must construct a short, simple event that would naturally happen after your desire is an established fact. Think about it. If you wanted a specific promotion, the practice isn't to imagine getting the phone call. The practice is to imagine a casual conversation a month later, where a colleague asks, "So how are you finding the new responsibilities?" And you feel the calm confidence of someone who has already settled in. This is the echo. The practice here is to find that one simple sensory-rich scene that implies the wish is already a memory. If these ideas are resonating with you, consider subscribing so we can continue this hunt for mystery together. The third step is entering the gateway. This is the physical and mental state where creation occurs. It is the borderline state between waking and sleeping, a state science calls hypnagogia. The instructions are simple. Lie down in a comfortable position and immobilize your physical body. The goal is to make the body become irrelevant, to let it drift into sleep while your mind remains lucid. In this state, the loud, critical voice of the 3D world fades. The veil between dimensions thins. This isn't just relaxation. It's the deliberate calibration of your consciousness to a higher frequency. The practice is to catch that wave of drowsiness, to feel your body turning to stone while your awareness becomes a focused point of light. The fourth and final step is the act of full participation. This is the point where almost everyone fails. Do not watch your scene like a movie. That is a powerless act of observation. You must enter the scene. You must be the actor, experiencing it in the first person here and now. If your scene involves touching something, you must mentally feel its texture. If it involves hearing something, you must hear the words in your inner ear. You loop this single, short scene, this echo of fulfillment over and over, with the obsession of a lover, until it takes on all the tones of reality. You persist in this imaginary act until you naturally fall asleep within the feeling of the wish fulfilled. The practice isn't to think about it. It is to live in it until the doors of sleep lock it into your deeper mind. This is how you plant a seed in the soil of the fourth dimension. Let's dissect this mechanism further, because the nuance is what separates a failed attempt from a world-altering success. Regarding the echo of fulfillment, why is it so critical to imagine a scene after the event? Because the human mind, left to its own devices, will obsess over the how. It will try to build the bridge from here to there, and in doing so will fill it with all the usual obstacles, doubts, and fears. By jumping directly to the end, you are commanding the destination, and you leave the logistics, the bridge of incidents, as Goddard called it, to the far greater intelligence of the cosmic mirror. Your only job is to occupy the destination. The universe's job is to take you there. Now, for those who struggle with detailed visualization in the act of full participation, there is an equally potent auditory path. Instead of a scene, you can use a single condensed phrase that implies the wish is fulfilled. The words, "thank you," are extraordinarily powerful, as they carry the unshakable assumption that a gift has been received. Another is simply, "it is done." You repeat this phrase mentally, like a lullaby, feeling the deep relief and satisfaction that comes with it. The phrase becomes a dimensional mantra, a tuning fork that forces your entire being to vibrate at the frequency of the reality you have chosen. And what is the precise nature of the feeling we must capture? It is not necessarily ecstatic joy or excitement. Those are fleeting emotions. The true creative feeling is a quiet, profound sense of naturalness. It is the feeling that your desire is no longer a desire, but a simple, established fact of your reality. Think of the difference between anxiously hoping for something and calmly knowing it's yours. It is this calm, confident assumption, this inner nod of course, that reiterates the world. This is not a magic trick you perform once. It is a mental diet, a sustained discipline. You are not begging an external power to grant you a wish. You are imprinting a new truth onto the only reality that exists, your own consciousness. And you must remain faithful to that unseen reality until the mirror has had time to fully reflect your new face. The mechanism is laid bare, a technology for selecting a future from the infinite vault of possibilities. But here is the twist that turns this entire journey inside out. What if the primary purpose of this cosmic power isn't just to change the circumstances around you? What if its real function is to reveal your true identity to you? Every desire you choose to embody is not a request you send out to the universe. It is a declaration of being. It is a statement about who you are. When you assume the feeling of being healthy, you are not asking for health. You are casting a vote for the identity. I am healthy. Think of it this way. Your imagination is a cosmic voting booth. Each time you enter that gateway state and feel a wish fulfilled, you are casting a ballot. The universe doesn't care about the candidates, wealthy, poor, loved, abandoned. It simply counts the votes. The reality you experience is merely the winner of your inner election. This is why unconscious creation is so dangerous. A person who lives in a constant state of anxiety isn't just feeling anxious. They are casting a relentless 24/7 vote for the identity of a victim, and the cosmic mirror, in its perfect fidelity, honors that choice by building a world that validates it. It seems the oldest advice in the world is to know thyself. Funny how that's still the hardest final boss to beat. So, if every desire you embody is a chisel and the raw block of marble is your own soul, what image are you truly carving? This reframes the entire human experience. What we call suffering is not a punishment. It is the result of an identity unconsciously chosen and stubbornly maintained. The universe is not testing you. It is agreeing with you. It is providing the evidence for the truth you have declared about yourself. And this leads to an even more profound, almost terrifying question. If the past, present, and future all exist right now in a higher dimension, what does that say about the you that is experiencing this moment? What if the you, listening to this, is not a singular entity traveling along a line of time, but a single point of awareness, a cosmic cursor, currently illuminating one life, one timeline from an infinite sea of possibilities? And what if every other version of you, the one who made the different choice, the one who took the other path, is just as real? What if all your lives are happening now? This power then is not about rewriting the past or scripting the future. It is about shifting your point of awareness. It is about consciously choosing to illuminate a different timeline, a different version of yourself that already exists. You are not creating the new you. You are simply remembering and selecting the one you wish to be. The hunt is not for what you can get, but for who you can become. And now we arrive at the consequence, the burden of this knowledge. If consciousness is the sole creator, and you are that consciousness, then there are no more excuses, ever. The entire architecture of blame, the government, the economy, your upbringing, other people, collapses into dust. It is a terrifying liberation. You are standing in a room full of mirrors, and you are the only one inside. Every reflection, beautiful or monstrous, is your own. This is the radical responsibility that the awakened must carry. It changes everything. Forgiveness, for example, is no longer a moral virtue you grant to another. It becomes a pragmatic act of self-healing. To hold a grudge, to replay a story of betrayal in your mind, is to consciously command the universe to keep that poison alive in your own reality. You are not forgiving the other person for their sake. You are freeing yourself from the future you would create by remaining tethered to them. Your choices too take on a new cosmic weight. Every assumption you hold, every mood you entertain is a command shaping the future. It's like being the captain of a ship so vast you can't see the bow, but you hold the rudder. A tiny, almost imperceptible shift in your hand today will result in a completely different destination weeks from now. The question, "What do I do now?" is answered with another question. Who are you choosing to be now? This is the only moment of power. This is the only place from which the future can be built. Are you willing to abandon the comforting story of being a victim in exchange for the terrifying power of being the sole creator? This power also redefines our relationship with failure. In the 3D world, failure is a final judgment, a war. In a 4D reality, there is no such thing as failure. There is only feedback. The external world is simply showing you, with perfect precision, the current state of your internal blueprint. If you attempt to manifest a new reality and the world doesn't change, the universe isn't saying no, it's saying your assumption is not yet dominant. It's giving you a diagnostic report on your own consciousness. The undesirable circumstances are not obstacles, they are navigational tools, telling you where your focus has truly been. The practical application is to look at unwanted results, not with despair, but with the detached curiosity of a scientist. Guys, you can say, so that is the reality my unconscious beliefs have been projecting. Time for a course correction. This shifts the entire ethical framework of existence. The most profound act of love you can offer to another person is not what you do for them, but the highest conception you hold of them in your imagination. By seeing them as their best self, even when their 3D reality shows otherwise, you are offering them a powerful, silent prayer, a vote in the cosmic booth for their highest potential. Conversely, the greatest harm is done through judgment and negative assumption. We are all connected in this mental universe. Our sustained beliefs about others are not harmless thoughts. They are subtle but potent curses or blessings we cast into the shared field. This is the awesome responsibility of awakening. You become eternally mindful of the worlds you are creating, not just for yourself, but for everyone your consciousness touches. We stand now at the end of this hunt, but at the true beginning of the work. The technology has been revealed, a method for consciously navigating the fourth dimension, not as a theory, but as an operational reality. The universe is mental. Your consciousness is the only cause. Your imagination is the workshop where worlds are born. The great masters of history, from the Hermetic sages to philosophers like Plato and visionaries like Neville Goddard, weren't teaching us how to attract things from a distant, reluctant cosmos. They were trying to remind us that we are the cosmos, temporarily focused into a point of awareness called you. We live in a strange era. This forbidden knowledge is now more accessible than ever, yet humanity is more hypnotized by the shadows on the cave wall than at any point in history. We are drowning in information, but starving for this kind of gnosis, this direct, transformative knowing. The global systems of control are built on a single foundational lie, that you are a victim of circumstance, a population that believes this is easy to govern. A population that understands they are the sole creators of their reality is not. But this knowledge comes with a final cosmic dilemma. If you can truly be, do, and have anything you can successfully imagine and feel, who then do you choose to become? The freedom revealed here is not the freedom to get what you want. It is the far more terrifying freedom to define who you are, to write your own name into the fabric of reality. The great hunt is no longer for secrets hidden in ancient texts. The hunt is now within. The mystery is you, Liked this journey? Hit subscribe for more mysteries. And that's our hunt for now. A wild mix of documented history and tantalizing what-ifs based